He can't walk, at least not on all four legs, and he's been through more surgeries than most cats experience in 9 lifetimes. But Earl, a paralyzed rescue cat, has traveled to Disney World twice, flown on planes more than some people, and lives every single day like it's an adventure. This is the story of a cat who was supposed to be a temporary foster, but became the center of someone's entire world. Let's go back to where it all started, about 9 years ago. A stray mother was guiding her babies to the other side of the street, but one tiny kitten was struggling to follow. Earl couldn't get up the curb. At just 5 weeks old and weighing less than a pound, he was stuck, crying, while his mom and siblings kept going without him. That's when a kind woman named Rita heard his desperate cries and then saw this tiny kitten alone, his family disappearing into the distance. She knew he needed help immediately and called Their Last Resort, a rescue organization that came to pick him up. Kana's sister-in-law, Jackie, heard about the struggling kitten and had an instinct about who could help him. She reached out to Kana with 3 simple words: "He needs you." The next day, Earl arrived at Kana's house as a foster. That was the plan anyway. But the moment Kana met him, she was attached. 9 years later, Earl has never left, and Kana's life has revolved around his needs ever since. The vets believe Earl's paralysis happened when he was a newborn, possibly from his mother accidentally stepping on him, causing a spinal cord injury. At first, there was hope that maybe, just maybe, with the right interventions, Earl could gain some mobility. Even if he couldn't walk, maybe he could get more movement or use from his back legs, so Kana tried everything. She took him to an animal chiropractor who taught her daily exercises to work with Earl. She tried acupuncture, which helped him gain more range of motion when stretching his legs. They explored every possible avenue, working with him constantly to see if he could gain any additional function. Eventually, Earl did get a 3D printed set of wheels, but he grew so fast that they no longer fit. And here's the thing they discovered: Earl was actually faster and got around better without wheels. But Earl's challenges went far beyond just his paralysis. From the time Kana got him, he has dealt with severe constipation issues, a condition called 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐽. He's been on the maximum dosage of every medication available for the condition. He required special food, and when he had episodes, Kana had to perform enemas at home. Earl also wore diapers, which Kana changed 3 to 4 times a day, sometimes more. Her entire day was consumed with caring for him, and as Earl grew, so did his medical complications. There was the tail situation. Earl would attack his own tail, something the vets struggled to understand. One night, he attacked it so severely that Kana came home to what she describes as something like a murder scene in her kitchen. She rushed him to the Animal Emergency Center in Rochester, where they discovered 2 places where bone was exposed, and the tip of his tail was already dead. Kana faced a hard choice: bring him home covered in medications and risk him becoming a septic, or amputate his tail that night. She made the tough call and went with the amputation, but the tail attack suggested something deeper was going on. This led to appointments with neurologists and eventually an MRI, which revealed a cyst or fluid pocket in his spinal cord that could be causing discomfort. It was believed to be an old injury, possibly something he was born with. No surgery was needed for that particular issue, just a round of steroids. But Earl's biggest battle came when he was 6 years old. His 𝐬𝐫𝐽, the condition he dealt with since he was 5 weeks old, had progressed to a critical point. His doctors told 𝐾𝐨 that surgery was required, a subtotal colectomy, where they would remove the stretched portion of his colon. They said it was pretty amazing that Earl had made it to 6 years old without needing the surgery. But now, there were only two options: put Earl down or go through with this major operation. The doctors thought he'd pull through, and 𝐾𝐨 made the decision to give Earl the chance to fight. The surgery happened at the beginning of 2023, and the recovery was brutal. 𝐾𝐨 monitored the poor guy constantly, sleeping beside him, syringe feeding him fluids, watching for any sign of trouble. Then came a setback that would change everything. Earl developed a fever and attacked his tail again. He also started having issues with swelling in his leg. Something was wrong, but the doctors couldn't figure out what. Earl was on antibiotics for 3 weeks, receiving injections, going through blood work and scans. Finally, they decided to do an exploratory surgery to find the source of the continuing infection and draining. What they discovered was horrifying. A surgical sponge had been left inside Earl during his first surgery. It had been there for weeks, causing continuous infection. If he hadn't already been on those antibiotics for 3 weeks, he might not have made it. The recovery from the second surgery was even harder, but Earl was a fighter, and he won this battle. Through all these challenges, Earl has maintained his playful spirit. He's a complete goofball when he plays, showing such determination that you can't help but be inspired by him.
What are you doing over there? That's not for you.
Earl has traveled on airplanes more times than many humans. He's been to Disney World twice, Cape Cod, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, Indiana, and on camping trips. He's living a life that most cats, paralyzed or not, never experience. If you've never had a special needs pet, 𝐾𝐨 says the best way to describe it is that there's a connection stronger than anything else. Earl counts on her for everything, and over the years, 𝐾𝐨 has learned to read him so well that she knows what he wants before he does. Earl thinks 𝐾𝐨 is his birth mom. He talks to her, follows her everywhere, and has opinions about everything. He's 𝐾𝐨's best friend, and the connection they share is something you can fully understand only if you've had a special needs pet yourself. Earl is living proof that obstacles don't define you. He survived surgeries that could have killed him, bounced back from medical emergencies that would have ended another cat, and continued to live with joy and determination, despite everything his body has thrown at him. He's an inspiration with his will to live, and everyone should aspire to live like Earl. He isn't just a foster who never left. He's family. He's a fighter. He's living proof that the best things in life are worth the struggle.